Have you ever experienced that anguish of having definitively lost the man your heart desires? That devastating feeling in your chest that seems endless? Today, I will reveal a mystery guarded in the deepest layers of Jung's psychology that will radically transform your romantic experience. A mystery so impactful that Carl Jung kept it reserved in his most secret writings. What I will share is not simply ordinary guidance. It is an ancestral tool that unveils the male subconscious. A singular embrace, when performed as I will teach, can establish a connection so intense that he will never be able to erase you from his thoughts. This knowledge has remained hidden for generations. The women who discovered it completely revolutionized their love lives. And no, this is not manipulation. It is about awakening a connection that goes beyond the physical and reaches the most intimate dimensions of the masculine essence. This approach activates the mirror neurons in his brain with such intensity that your presence will remain eternally imprinted in his consciousness, like an indelible mark etched on the soul. Are you ready to receive this knowledge? Before we proceed, I want you to write the word connection in the comments. This is not a simple gesture. It is a cosmic affirmation that you are willing to open your mind to this ancient wisdom. When you write this word, you activate in your subconscious the first channel of emotional receptivity. Do it now. Write connection and continue watching. What follows may revolutionize not only your romance, but your perception of the male psyche. Allow me to tell a story that began over 100 years ago when Carl Jung explored the depths of the universal unconscious. In his investigations into archetypes and romantic psychology, Jung discovered something fascinating about the power of physical touch, something that surpassed the science of his time. He understood that there are forms of physical touch that resonate directly with what he called the anima, the feminine dimension, in the male subconscious. The embrace, my dear, is not just an act of affection, it is a primordial language, a form of communication that predates words. Your body speaks a language that his subconscious understands intuitively. When you master this language, you become unforgettable. Reflect for a moment, how many times have you embraced someone and felt that something more was happening? That mysterious sensation of deep connection is not a coincidence. It is what contemporary neuroscience calls limbic synchronization. When two bodies meet in the right embrace, their nervous systems come into harmony, heartbeats align, breaths coordinate, and in that magical moment a bridge is established between two essences. Jung observed that men, in particular, retain physical memories differently from women. When a man experiences an embrace that touches not only his body, but his essence, something transforms in his brain, something profound and permanent. Science today validates what Jung intuited. When we embrace, we release oxytocin, the hormone of affection and trust. But that's not all. Physical touch activates brain regions related to emotional memory, specifically the hippocampus and amygdala, structures fundamental to forming lasting emotional memories. You may wonder why some embraces are forgotten, while others remain etched forever. The answer lies in intention and presence. It's not the embrace itself, but the energy you transmit through it. Most women make a fundamental mistake. They embrace, thinking about what comes next, or worse, they embrace with their body while their mind is elsewhere. Such an embrace is empty, mechanical, and sparks nothing special in his inner universe. What I am about to reveal combines Jungian wisdom about feminine archetypes with the latest neuroscience discoveries about emotional connection. A technique that awakens in a man such an intense sense of belonging that he literally cannot stop thinking about you. This is not a common approach. It is not something found in women's magazines or superficial relationship advice. It is knowledge that touches the roots of the human being, about how to awaken the ancestral longing every man has to find his safe haven. Have you ever noticed how some men may have relationships with dozens of women throughout their lives, but continue thinking about that one woman who marked their soul? It's not a coincidence. That woman, consciously or not, accessed this sacred language of touch that I am about to reveal. The method I will share has 3 dimensions: physical, emotional, and energetic. All 3 must be aligned for the effect to be complete. It's like a constellation. If one star is misaligned, the pattern does not fully form. Jung spoke about the power of symbols and rituals. This embrace I will teach is, in fact, a ritual of connection, a ritual as old as humanity, but forgotten in our hurried and disconnected modern society. Do you remember the last time an embrace made you feel truly understood? That sensation that for a few seconds you existed fully in someone else's arms? That is exactly the sensation you will learn to awaken in him. But before revealing the specific steps of this method, I need you to understand something fundamental. This is not a trick to manipulate. It is a sacred dance between 2 souls. It is about creating true intimacy. If your intention is merely to capture a man without offering genuine connection, the method will not work. Intention is the seed from which everything grows. The embrace I will teach creates what Jung would call emotional synchronicity, a moment when the internal and external align perfectly, creating an almost mystical experience of union. It is in this moment that your image is etched in his unconscious, becoming part of his dreams, his thoughts, his deepest aspirations. There is a reason why certain women remain etched in a man's memory for his entire life. It's not just physical beauty, not just intelligence or affinity. It's something more subtle and far more powerful, the ability to touch him on an archetypal level, to awaken in him the recognition of the anima, the feminine part of his own soul. Neuroscience confirms this through the concept of an emotional engrama, type of memory formed when an experience is lived with intense emotional charge. That's why moments of great joy, fear, or surprise remain so vividly etched in our memory. What few know is that we can deliberately create these engrams through conscious touch. This method I am about to reveal has helped thousands of women rekindle desire in relationships that seemed dead. It has helped others become unforgettable to men who previously seemed distant and emotionally unavailable, and not because they became different from who they are, but because they learned to express their essence in a way that resonates directly with the male unconscious. The soul imprinting embrace, as I call it, has 3 distinct phases. Each activates a different part of his nervous system, creating a complete experience that will be imprinted in his being. First phase, the conscious approach. Even before physical contact, the magic begins. When you approach to embrace him, breathe deeply and connect with your own heart. Feel the warmth in the center of your chest. This is not just physical preparation, it is energetic. Men sense this instinctively. They may not name it, but they notice when a woman is fully present. Look into his eyes for a brief moment before the embrace. Not a seductive or calculated look, but a look of recognition, soul to soul. It's just a second, but in that second, you are saying, I see you, not just your body or your social persona, I see you. This look activates what Jung would call archetypal recognition, a profound feeling of being truly seen. Second phase, the synchronized embrace. Now comes the embrace itself. Don't rush. Approach with intention. When your bodies meet, don't embrace. Only with your arms, but with your entire being. Your body must communicate warmth. There is nothing mechanical here. The secret lies in the pressure and rhythm. The embrace must be firm enough to convey security, but soft enough to express vulnerability. It is a sacred paradox, strength and softness coexisting in the same gesture. It is exactly this paradox that captivates the masculine. Synchronize your breathing with his. You don't need to do this, obviously. your body knows how. When your breaths align, something extraordinary happens in his brain. The mirror neurons, responsible for our capacity for empathy, are activated to their fullest potential. In this moment, he is not just receiving your embrace, he is experiencing your feelings. An invisible bridge is formed. While embracing, allow your heart to express itself not in words, but in energy. Feel gratitude for this moment, for this encounter between two beings. This gratitude creates a vibration that is picked up by the electromagnetic field of his heart. Yes, the heart generates the most powerful electromagnetic field in the human body, far stronger than that of the brain. Science confirms this. Here is the crucial element that most women overlook while embracing. Visualize a golden light enveloping both of you. This visualization is not merely symbolic, it literally alters your energetic state and, consequently, the experience he will have of this moment. The ancients knew this, Jung rediscovered it, modern neurophenomenology confirms our subjective experience, alters the physical reality of the interaction. Third phase, the transformative release. The way you pull away from the embrace is as important as the embrace itself. Most people simply separate, losing the magic of the moment. Don't make this mistake. When you feel the embrace has reached its natural end, pull away slowly, maintaining eye contact for one more second. This is not a look of expectation or demand. It is a look that says what happened was real, it was sacred. The final secret lies in a gentle, almost imperceptible pressure of your fingers on two specific points on his back before fully pulling away. These points correspond to important nerve centers that, when stimulated, create a kind of sensory signature that will be associated with you. The first point is just below his left shoulder blade, the second in his lower right back. A light pressure of less than a second on each of these points as you pull away creates what neurologists call sensory anchoring, a stimulus that will be linked to the emotional experience of the embrace. When you execute these three phases in perfect harmony, something extraordinary happens in the male brain. The hippocampus, responsible for forming long-term memories, is activated simultaneously with the amygdala, the center of primary emotions, and the nucleus accumbens, the brain's pleasure and reward center. This triple activation creates what Jung would call archetypal imprinting, an impression so profound that it transcends the present moment and connects with ancestral patterns of the collective unconscious. In modern terms, you create a powerful, emotional engram that will make him think of you when he least expects it. This is not an ordinary embrace. It is a communication between souls, a moment of true intimacy that speaks directly to the deepest masculine longing to be fully received by an awakened and welcoming feminine presence. The beauty of this method is that it works regardless of the stage of the relationship, whether with a man you've just met, someone you wish to rekindle with, or a long-term partner where the spark seems to have faded. Why? Because you are not creating something artificial. You are awakening a cellular memory that every human carries, the memory of belonging, of genuine connection, of mutual recognition between souls. When a woman embraces a man in this way, she is not just embracing his physical body, she is embracing all his layers, the boy he was, the warrior he strives to be, the sage he may become. This holistic recognition is profoundly healing for the masculine. In a world where men are constantly judged by their utility, their strength, their performance, this type of embrace offers a rare moment of unconditional acceptance. It is a balm for the wounded masculine soul, a moment of truce in the endless battles he fights internally. What makes this method so powerful is that it combines ancestral knowledge about vital energy with the latest neuroscience discoveries about human connection. It is where mysticism meets science, confirming what ancient traditions always knew. The oxytocin released during this embrace creates a sense of well-being and trust. Serotonin elevates mood, endorphins generate pleasure, and dopamine creates the desire to repeat this experience. Together, these neurotransmitters form a chemical signature in his brain that will be associated with you. But the true power of this method goes beyond biochemistry. It touches what Jung called the collective unconscious, that part of us that carries ancestral memories and longings. The embrace performed in this way awakens in the man the archetypal recognition of the eternal feminine, not as an object of desire, but as a source of life, renewal, and profound meaning. You become, in that sacred moment, not just a woman, but the woman, a living representative of the feminine archetype that every man seeks, often without knowing. You transcend individuality and touch the universal. That is why he will not be able to forget you. What I am sharing is not just a technique to make a man think of you. It is a portal to a deeper form of human connection. It is a path back to the wisdom our ancestors knew intuitively, but that has been forgotten in our disconnected society. Imagine what it would be like if every embrace you gave carried this power, this intention, this presence. How would your relationships transform? How would you transform by practicing this form of conscious connection? The embrace I have just revealed is not just a tool to attract a man. It is a practice of presence, a meditation in motion, a ritual of mutual recognition. By practicing it, you are not only transforming how he sees you, you are transforming how you inhabit your own body and heart. Make no mistake, when you embrace someone with this quality of presence, you also receive. The magic flows both ways. The synchronization of nervous systems, the release of neurotransmitters, the energetic connection, all of this happens to you too. You are also marked by the experience. That is why this is not a method of manipulation, but of authentic connection. Both emerge transformed, both carry the memory of that sacred moment. Women who practice this method report profound changes, not only in their romantic relationships, but in their entire lives. They notice greater ease in setting healthy boundaries, greater clarity about their own desires and needs, and a greater capacity to be present in all aspects of life. Why? Because by practicing this type of conscious presence in the embrace, you are training your nervous system for a new state of being. You are learning at the most fundamental level to be fully present. And this presence transforms everything. There is something extraordinary that happens when you allow yourself to be a channel for this ancestral wisdom. You awaken your own feminine intuition, that innate wisdom all women possess, but that is often dormant under layers of social conditioning and insecurities. When you practice this embrace, you are affirming, I am here fully. I am not hiding. I am not diminishing myself. I am not trying to be what I am not. This silent affirmation is revolutionary in a world that constantly asks women to be less intense, less emotional, less powerful. The impact of this practice goes far beyond making a man think of you. It recalibrates your own feminine energy, reconnects you with aspects of your being that may have been neglected or repressed, and awakens your innate capacity to create meaningful connection. And here is the deepest truth when you practice this. Embrace, you are not just awakening something in him, you are awakening something in yourself. You are reclaiming your right to be a transformative presence, a force of conscious love, a woman who knows the power of her feminine energy and how to direct it to create beauty and meaning. Imagine what would happen if all women rediscovered this capacity for full presence, for authentic connection, for fearless expression of their feminine essence. How would our relationships be different? How would our families be different? How would our society be different? This is the true gift I am offering today. It's not just about winning or winning back a man, it's about winning back your own essence, your own capacity to create magic through genuine human connection. When you embrace a man in this way, you are saying to him, in a language older than words, I see you, I honor who you are, I am here fully, and there is no greater gift you could offer another human being. That is why he will think of you forever, not because you used a technique to manipulate him, but because you had the courage to be fully present, to offer true connection in a world of superficial interactions, to be a beacon of authenticity in an ocean of pretense. This is the secret Carl Jung discovered in his explorations of the unconscious, the transformative power of authentic presence, the healing power of mutual recognition between souls, the revolutionary power of moments of genuine connection. By practicing this embrace, you are not just applying a technique, you are participating in a ritual as old as humanity. You are joining a lineage of wise women who through the ages understood the sacred power of conscious feminine presence. Now, my dear, I want to hear from you. How does this ancestral knowledge resonate with your soul? Share in the comments a word that expresses what you felt upon receiving this revelation. This is not just a way for me to know you watched until the end. It is a declaration of intention to the universe. If this content touched your heart, share it with another woman who might benefit from this sacred knowledge, not for vanity, but because every woman deserves to rediscover her power to create deep and meaningful connections. And finally, don't miss our next video. Until then.